Hello, 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 and the warmest of welcomes to today's video. For those of you who haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Nick from Tell You Here. Those who have seen my face before, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you're enjoying my videos. I put out videos roughly 2 to 3 times a week on a range of different topics anywhere from fashion, slightly more personal topics. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please do head down, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I love chatting with you all. I'm all about living life loud, and what that means to me is being your authentic self, being proud to be you, and just celebrating who you are. Celebrate yourself, and of course, celebrating others. So, Happy New Year, everyone, by the time I post this. I am filming it on December 29th, but only because in the next few days I will be away. I will be celebrating my 30th birthday with my friendship group, and I am incredibly excited. Not necessarily excited about, getting that little bit older and entering a new decade, but hey, I'm ready for it, and I'm ready to put a bit of a pin in my 20s and say, do you know what? Let's move forward. Plus, everyone always tells me that 30s are sort of one of your best decades. So I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be a great decade for me. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. So let me just rescue the cat. So what I wanted to do was just do a really quick sort of roundup of 2024 and just share some of the highlights of it, and one huge highlight in particular. And also just to express, before I do any of that, gratitude to all of you, because I love taking the time to sit down and film, because I love the interaction that I get with each and every one of you. I am so grateful for the time that you take to watch my content, to engage with my content. You're welcoming me into your living room, onto your phone, onto your laptop, your TV, however you may be watching. You are using your private time to engage with me, and I'm so grateful for that. It's so greatly appreciated, and I can't thank you enough. And there have been times where I've debated stepping back from YouTube, where there's been a lot else going on, and I thought, is this the thing that I want to keep doing? But because of all of you and the interaction that I get, I really enjoy that, and that's what keeps me motivated. And you're always also supportive when I do take those moments and step back, and you're so welcoming when I decide to come back. So thank you is really the resounding message there. So thank you. So 2024 has been a really interesting year for me. It has been one of my most successful, and it has been one of my hardest. And it hasn't necessarily been hardest because of, the stuff that I've worked towards to create that success. I would say this has been emotionally one of my most difficult years in a long time. And I won't go into the background of it all. I won't go into any of the details of why it's been so difficult, but many of you who have watched me for a long time will know I'm very open about my mental health journey. I'm very open about some of the struggles that I've had, and some that I continue to have. And those always play on my mind, but they have been far more prevalent this year than they have been in years gone by. But what I'm so grateful for that I've been able to develop over the past sort of 3 or 4 years, since I've really gotten a hold of my mental health, is coping mechanisms and ways to not slip back into old unhealthy habits. So that's as much as it's been difficult, and I've definitely been doing some soul searching on what the root causes of those challenges have been, what's made me get to those mental headspaces. What is great is that I have the tools now to make sure that I don't slip into old habits, and that I'm very grateful for. So that's been a positive. So this year, there's been a lot that's happened. There has been, professional success, personal success. I continue to love living in my home. I've lived in this apartment now for nearly 4 years. I bought it. I moved in at the very start of 2021, bought it at the very end of 2020, continue to love living here, continue to feel very grateful that in my sort of mid-20s, I was in a position to be able to purchase this home. and I love it. It's a reflection of my personality. I enjoy living here very much. I've had professional successes, like I said, worked hard for them, but I'm very grateful for the fact that they have come through, and that's been really fantastic. You know, I challenged myself in ways that I hadn't done previously. So that some of you may remember at the very start of the year, I took a solo sort of vacation holiday. I've never done that before. Like, okay, let's put it into some context. It was 2.5 days at a spa, and it was 10 miles from my house. It just happened to be the one that had the best deal was 10 miles from my flat. But I still went on my own, stayed in a hotel without, you know, the crutch of work or anything like that, and just embraced being on my own, going for dinner out on my own, going for lunch on my own. I've never done that before. Never done that before. And I was determined to do it. I have, had other personal success in terms of feeling very much more comfortable in myself. Year on year, I get stronger in who I am as a person. I care less about what other people think of me. And I want to be an example for people, not in terms of saying you have to be like me, but in terms of whoever you are, embrace that fully. And that's what I'm all about, is being who I am unapologetically. I enjoy that. I don't make excuses for that anymore. I refuse to apologize for being who I am, for thinking what I think, for saying what I say, for doing what I do, you know, and that's a really powerful thing. I'm certainly not out to create any discord or any upset or any hurt in this world. Like, I'm here to make a positive impact on this world. But there will be certain people who don't agree with what you do. So people may not agree with the fact that I'm a cisgendered male who wears high heels. Fair enough. But in the same way I don't tell anyone else what to wear or what to do, I don't want anyone else telling me what to do. And that's okay. That's what makes the world go round. We're all different. So that's been a really positive thing. Just leaning into myself, but really always through the lens of, I want to make a positive change in this world with everything that I do, the communities that I support, the communities that I'm a part of. You know, I want to see positive change in this world. So that's something that I'm very much leaning into. Look, you know, I'm still single, okay? Every single year I sit and talk about what's the goal for 2024, what's the goal for 23, what's the goal for 22, and I talk about finding love. I haven't done that, okay? I haven't. And it's not necessarily that I've not found love. Love hasn't necessarily found me. I've not really been looking. Maybe love isn't looking for me at the moment. So that's okay. Is that still something that I want in my life? Absolutely. Is it a gap in my life? 100%. 100% it is. But it certainly does not drag me down. It does not drag me down. I am very comfortable being single and just really being about myself at the moment and celebrating who I am. And if I find someone who really embraces that and empowers me and continues and is really additive, that's perfect. In the same way, I want to be additive in their life. I want to be their biggest fan, their champion, their partner in crime, their biggest support. That's what I want to be for them. That's what they would need to be for me as well. And if you're not interested in being that, I'm not interested in it. So I haven't found that yet. Will I at some point? Goodness, I hope so. Goodness, I hope so. Because I'll be honest, there have been a lot of times this year, not just this year, but there have been a lot of times this year where I have felt lonely, where I have wished that I wasn't doing something on my own, where I wish I wasn't going to that event on my own, or I had planned to go with a friend and they cancelled, so I ended up doing it alone. Or when you get a +1 invite for something and you have to decline the +1 element, or you have an issue and you just want to be able to talk to someone about it that, you know, isn't necessarily a mid-flow, come on. You know, you want to be able to, like, I'm so lucky with the family I've got amazing friends, but there are just certain things I think you feel guilty for disturbing people. You know, when my table exploded in the middle of the night, I called my parents because I was so overwhelmed, but I was calling them at 2:30 in the morning and I felt terrible, 2 o'clock in the morning. I felt terrible. Now I have a relationship with them where they say you can call me anytime and I say they can call me anytime. And I mean that in all sincerity, and so do they. I was so overwhelmed in that moment, and it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I had had a lot going on and it broke me. To have just had someone there, even the next day, once it was all done and dusted, to have had someone who I could have, then gone for dinner with and just sat and just, that would have been really nice. And I could have called a friend, but you feel like you're intruding on people's lives. And that's an interesting feeling sometimes. But this is meant to be positive. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. This is a positive thing. So I haven't found love yet, but let's hope that I can get there.
Very ironically, only a few hours after recording this video, something happened where there would have been the potential that I needed to rely on the support of friends, and I managed to work through the situation. But when I mentioned that it had happened, my friends immediately said, how can we help? What can we do to support? And I said, well, this is my plan A. And if plan A doesn't work, then I would love your help as part of plan B. But that was amazing that they offered it. Plan A actually worked, which was brilliant. But I was quite stressed. I have an anxious personality. And until I knew that it was going to work, I was coming up with lots and lots of options and solutions and all sorts. So it wasn't anything particularly serious, but it was just so funny that after saying that in the video, that something happened that I then did need to rely on people and that support.
And so there's been a lot of success. That's probably one thing. There's been some really nice stuff as well. I've been very fortunate this year in the fact that I've been able to buy some beautiful things and really enjoy using those and really lean into my personal style. I've explored new brands. I'm very fortunate there. And I'm very grateful for the pieces that I have, and I want to really enjoy those through 25, not necessarily add so much. Saying that, I have bought something that will be with me fairly soon, I hope, because I'm very excited about it. It ticks off one of the, not necessarily an item from the brands I'll be buying list, but it ticks off a brand and leans into one of the themes that we discussed. And of course, perfect timing, the really biggest positive of my year has been this little lady. The positive of possibly even my 20s. I, as you probably all know, especially if you follow me on Instagram because of how much I post her, I adore this animal. Poppy is an incredible, incredible animal. The Sphinx cat is a phenomenal breed of cat. I'm so pleased to have her. She is just a shining light. She is so friendly and sweet and affectionate and caring. Look at you pretending not to listen. You're like, who are you talking to? And she has really, really, increased my, what's the right phrase? Quality of life. I love her. I really, really do. And, I think pets, I grew up with pets and I didn't have one for a long time because I'd moved out and I lived in shared properties, and then when I moved into the flat, I couldn't decide if I wanted one because of the commitment, and I'm so glad I committed. And funnily enough, I went all in on a rescue that I knew very little about, had really no information, and she's doing incredibly. She's doing incredibly. She wasn't very well looked after, and she, from what I can tell, is incredibly happy, incredibly healthy. Well, the vet tells me she's very healthy, which is great. And we've worked on that together. She has been amazing at allowing me to bring her back to optimal health. And she's just so loving and affectionate and caring and sweet, and she's an amazing animal. The Sphinx cat is an amazing breed. Like I said, they are so sweet and friendly, and the Friends episode really did them a disservice because everyone associates them with this hissing, aggressive animal. By the way, if you look at the scenes, that cat is not doing anything that appears aggressive, you know, when it walks on the cushion and everything. Couldn't be more placid, couldn't be more relaxed, okay? It's just when you hear a little in the background that you associate it with that, but it's a very relaxed animal, by the way, when you rewatch that episode. But she's just an incredible animal. I love the Sphynx cat as a breed. I think personally they are a beautiful breed of cat. I know the hairless wouldn't be for everyone, but I personally think that they are a very striking and very beautiful breed of cat. I'm delighted to have her. She's incredibly special. She has been my highlight of 2024, certainly my highlight of many, many years, you know, gone by. The possibly the only other things that could be somewhat comparable for me would be when I achieved my first class degree, because of course that's so many years of hard work to get that first class was incredible. You know, you can't get a higher grade than that, which was amazing. And then probably securing the graduate program, which is what kickstarted my career. Those are probably the two things in the past decade that have been somewhat comparable, but they are definitely all in and amongst, you know, buying the flat, etc. Things like that. Those are really big things. And, you know, getting Poppy and her being as amazing as she is up there with them. And I'm sorry if any of you get annoyed about how much I spam her, but I think she's amazing, so I will continue to spam. She will continue to infiltrate the videos. That's that. So there we have it, everyone. There was me thinking I was going to sit down, talk to you for about 3 minutes and turn off the camera. This has become a much longer, chattier video. But that is, 2024 has, on the whole, really been successful. The positives far outweigh the negatives. There have been some challenges, but aren't there always? Aren't there always challenges in people's lives? And we get through them and they make us stronger. And, you know, on the whole, I look for the good. I have had a lot of things to be positive about. I've had a lot of success in 2024. That's the wave that I want to ride. And I hope that you have also had an amazing 2024. I hope that 2025 gives you everything that you want and more. And I cannot wait to share more content with you, interact with you all more. Yeah, can't wait to see you in my next video. Thank you so much as always for watching. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Bye.